Well, this month, 4-H is the topic once again here on Extension Connection, but this time we're going to be talking about dogs and their place at the fair. Joining me today is Jennifer Holtgrew, and her dog with her today is Holtgrew and Aguie Anderson, and his dog Rush. Thanks for being with us today. And first off, we're going to kind of talk about how you guys train the dogs, and tell me a little bit about this, Aguie.
We train them how to sit, and then we train them how to lay down, and then like later on when they're like better, we compete with them, and like we see who's the better dog.
Okay, and you actually take them to the county fair, and how many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 2 years.
Okay, and what do you like most about taking your puppy to the fair?
I like competing and just to have fun. That's the main thing.
And how long did it take you to train your dog?
It took me a while. It was stressful, but you have to have a lot of patience because he's young. But it took me a while.
Okay. And since he's a puppy, I'm sure did it really take longer than maybe like a grown dog, you think? Or
I think it is easier to train them when they're a puppy because when they're older, they don't know very much, so they'd have a harder time getting it through their brain.
Now, Jennifer, talk about how you don't have to have an older dog to take to the fair, and with the training as well.
Sure. We encourage people with all ages of dogs. They can be a puppy, and we can teach old dogs new tricks. So we encourage people, even if they've got a 7-year-old dog, and this would be their first time through obedience, to go ahead and bring it. We also do not restrict based on the breed of the dog. They do not have to be AKC registered or even a purebred. That any Heinz 57 is absolutely welcome, and we love to have all of the dogs.
Okay, what are some of the techniques you train the dogs?
The first thing that we do is we base everything safety is first, and we go from there. And one of the first things that we do is the sit, because from that springs everything else. And like Aguie said, that it's a little bit of time, but the dogs do respond very quickly, especially if the kids work on their own. We work on the healing, we work on the stays, which are just basic great pet ownership skills. For example, if you need to go to the vet with your dog, if your dog is dragging you into the vet clinic, that's not a very fun dog for the vet to look at. Or if you're going for a walk or different things, that you want your dog to be a good citizen. And what we're giving the kids are the skills to teach their dogs to be a good pet. And we're also trying to teach them things about how to care for their pet, the health, the food, things to let the dog grow into old age and have a happy, healthy life.
Now, do you ever, when you're asking them to do a command, do you ever ask, is it usually verbally, or do you ever snap your fingers or anything like that?
We start everything with verbal, and we go from there. We'll see some of our more advanced kids start doing hand signals, but we start everything verbally, and through each command, through a healing pattern, they would say the dog's name and then heel, or the dog's name and sit. And we encourage the kids to be very verbal with the dogs, one command and enforce it, but then do a lot of good dogs and smart puppies and a lot of very positive training, because you want the dogs to think they're having fun. They love spending time with their handler, even when they're doing new tricks or learning new things, that you want them to always have fun so they continue to want to learn.
And there's a new program offered by the Woodbury County Extension to train 4-H'ers who want or have dogs and want to train them. Talk more about this.
One of the classes that has been added in the last couple of years is called Rally, and it's inspired by the AKC, that they have a competition called Rally. And what it is obedience set to an obstacle course, and the first level is all on leash, and as they go from that, then they go off leash as they do the activities. But you might go around pylons, or you might do a sit and then you move with the dog and they pivot with you. You might do a stay and you walk around the dog, things like that. And it goes more advanced into the jumping maneuvers, like a moving stand or moving down, but just things that your dog really enjoys it, and you can talk to your dog through the whole activity and really praise them, versus the standard obedience is one command along with the dog's name. So we think the kids have responded well. Last year I was a judge, and the kids just had a big smile on their faces as they were done, and the dogs looked like they were having a great time. And this is my first year as a co-superintendent, so I look forward to working with the kids and continuing that.
Now, how do you get the dogs to learn what you want to teach them?
Baby steps. I mean, everything is one activity at a time. Even puppies as young as Rush, he's 3 months old, you start with one thing, and you start with the sit, and you help them to sit, and then it's a lot of praise, and you build on that, and it doesn't take very long before the puppy not only is sitting on command, but you also can tell him to stay, and you can move a few feet away from him, and then you can add the distraction of someone walking around you, but it really is one step at a time, and working with your dog on the level your dog works at. That obviously Aguie working with Rush is going to be much different than me working with Karita, an older dog who's been through obedience. So we really encourage the kids to work to their dog's ability level, and as well as their own, and to not worry about what their neighbor is doing with their dog. We really want them to go as far as they can with their dog, and you know, their level of expertise and how old the dog is. So.
Now, when 4-H'ers bring their dogs to the fair, what are they judged on?
We have a couple different classes. The first thing is showmanship, which is basically showing your dog off. You're showing the anatomy of the dog, and you're showing them gaiting. And one of the things the judge is going to judge you on is how you present the dog, that you're very attentive to the dog, and you also are very aware of where the judge is. You may be asked dog ownership questions like parts of the dog or nutrition questions. The second thing was we have a standard obedience, and that's very much the sit, stay, down, the come, all of those types of things. And then we do the rally, which is obedience to the obstacle course. So the kids have several different things that they can go into.
And I'm sure that when the dogs learn what they're supposed to, they get rewarded with treats. I saw you giving a few to Rush there. And the other dog, I guess, gets a nap today on the set.
Yeah, Karita. Yeah, Karita very much enjoys the attention, but after a little while, she's going to take a nap. This is my competition dog, and that's one of the things that got me involved in with Woodbury County, is that some of my friends in the dog show world asked if I could come in and help, and I was more than happy to do it. I enjoy working with my dogs. I'm a teacher, so I enjoy working with kids, and I was a 4-H'er and in the dog program in Plymouth County. So it's been a wonderful experience to help give back to a program that I had so much fun with as a kid, and to combine my hobby. So.
How many years have you had Karita?
Karita, I have had 2 years.
Okay. And about of those 2 years, how long did it take to train her?
Actually, I cheated a little bit. I imported her, and she had a very good start. And from that, we continued to compete together, and very much was baby steps. And working her, it might just be 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, going other locations to work with her. But I'll tell the kids, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I'm by no means a master at it, but if you just follow the steps and you follow through what you ask the dog, you never ask the dog for something that you can't enforce, and keep practicing, you'll be successful.
And we know that the police force uses dogs every day for certain crimes. How long would you say it takes to train a dog for those purposes?
It takes several months into years. The officers that I know continually train with their dogs, and that's one thing to let the kids know, is that this isn't just you've taught them something and then you never practice it again. That even the canines are in constant practice with their handlers, and that you have to keep practicing. That a lot of the kids will come out this spring, maybe not having worked their dogs much, and they'll be a little rusty, but with a little bit of work, they'll be right back where they were last year. So.
Okay. And Aguie, how long have you had Rush here?
I've had him for about, let's say, 15 weeks.
Okay. And was he already, did he have some training, or did you have to do a lot of that yourself?
Yeah, I had to do a lot of that myself, and yeah.
So you've probably been training him since day one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you were going to show us some tricks that you had trained Rush. Could you show us a little bit of those today?
Sure. Rush, come here. Come here. Good boy. Rush, stand. Here, come here. No, you gotta stand.
Now, are you showing him how to stand and sit?
Yes. Good boy. Good stand. Rush, sit.
Oh.
Good boy. Rush, charge. Good boy.
Oh, very good. Very good. And,
Good job, Rush. Good boy.
now, are these some of the things you have to know before you take your dog to the fair?
It'll help a lot. And, yeah, it would help a lot. And, when you're outside of the ring, you could have them sit and calm them down, and while you're getting calmed down, and it'll work out.
Okay. And how long have you been a 4-H'er?
I've been a 4-H'er for, I'd say, 2 years.
Okay. And both years have you done the dog program?
Yes.
Okay. What are probably the some of the greater challenges in training your puppy?
Having a lot of patience, and because he's like attention deficit, and he's always sidetracked on different stuff. So you'd have to be patient with him and teach him different stuff slowly. Don't throw it all at him, otherwise he probably won't learn anything. But that's about all.
I didn't know that dogs could be attention deficit.
Well, he's a puppy, and the attention span of a puppy is much like a baby, and it's there for a little bit, and then it's gone. So what Aguie means is he trains for just a few minutes at a time, because you could never work this puppy for an hour solid. It would never work. Versus Karita is an older dog. You can work much longer, and she has the attention to be able to pay to me and enjoy the work, and it's just an age thing.
Okay. And is there anything else that you guys do besides training and preparation for the fair with your dogs?
One of the things that I do with one of my other dogs is go through nursing homes. Two of my dogs are certified pet therapy dogs, and what we're going to try and do is get our kids involved in community service projects, like going through the nursing homes and giving demonstrations and showing other people what they have done with their dogs, and enjoying their dogs in new locations and things of this nature. So.
Alrighty, well, they look like they're either ready for a nap or a walk. I would like to thank you, Jennifer and Aguie, for being on the show today, as well as Rush and Karita. That's this month's edition of Extension Connection. If you would like to view this video or other videos, please log on to our website, SiouxlandCommunityMedia.org, and click on the YouTube icon. I'm Tony Ulrich. Thanks for watching.